What's up everybody, HK2 Production back at it again with yet another video. Now if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that like button. Hey, like I said, it don't cost you nothing. It's free. And welcome to the family. And if you're already a subscriber, thanks for coming back and checking me out again. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the pre-spawn. So, around about this time of year, you start to hear some technical terms thrown around a lot about pre-spawn and migration routes. Wintering areas, and the list could go on. If you're not a seasoned angler, maybe just starting out in the sport, or perhaps even been fishing for a while. So we're going to simplify and define some terms to get you all caught up and ready to get out on the water and maximize this awesome time of year. And I know y'all are ready to get it, because I am too. I already got my baits lined up of what I'm going to use. So I got my baits ready because I'm ready for the pre-spawn. Now, pre-spawn is any time before bass move up their beds to spawn, meaning they lay their eggs. Normally designates a season of late winter to early spring. More of a state rather than a specific time of year, as different geographical locations will experience the pre-spawn and spawn at different times. Now break that down just a little bit more. First off, know that the pre-spawn can be the best fishing of the entire year and also the best chance to catch that PB, that giant, y'all. The reason is twofold. Bass are hungry and the bass are vulnerable. When bass leave their wintering areas, dang it, one of those phrases again, let's define. Wintering areas. Now the wintering areas are the deeper areas that bass spend most of the time when the water temperature is coldest. And a lot of y'all seasoned anglers know this, but the beginners that don't know this, they move to these spots because they are most comfortable. It's easy to feed without a lot of energy, and oxygen levels are good. A lot of these times, these deep spots, there are drop-off points near humps or ledges, so they can move up shallow easily to eat. Okay, now where were we? When bass leave their wintering areas, like I said, they're out in the deepest part. They start to feed up heavily to get ready for spawn. This is when the bigger females pair up with the smaller males and they mate. Eventually, they move up on shallow areas of flats, make circular beds, if y'all ever seen those beds, lay their eggs and hang out to guard them for a bit. Now, before they get to those shallow areas, however, they move from these wintering areas to their spawning grounds via what we call migration routes. So that's where that term came from. The migration route. Now that's a good definition. If you don't know what that is, it's an underwater path or highway that the majority of the bass would take between their deep wintering areas and their shallow spawning ground, like ditches, canals, or other structures at the mouth of a creek arm or bay. Now in a small pond, these could be 30 feet. In a large lake or reservoir, this could be as much as a mile or more. That's a lot. Farther for smallmouth and spotted bass. Now typically it's somewhere kind of in between. Now figuring out these migration routes are key to find the fish in the pre-spawn time. A great rule of thumb is to study some maps. Find your big creek arms or bays that look like they might have a good flat area for spawn. If you fished a body of water in the spring before, you might know where these areas are already. Follow out from those areas to the deeper spots in nearest ponds, ledges, or breaks that seem like they would be good holding areas for the bass before they get up into the shallows. Now, on to what I use. Now try working moving fast reaction baits, especially during this time when they get out to the beds. Like, you know it. Lippless crankbait, baby. And I love my lippless crankbait. Y'all know, in a lot of my videos, my best friend. Now this is my favorite color. Oh, I love this one. I mean, it does a trick. Now I got my Lose bait caster with 20-inch trilene, and I have it on a 7-foot medium heavy rod. My Lose with the Shimano reel, I'm gonna use with my Booyah, okay? So that's going with that. Now my Shimano reel is a 6.6 medium, and that's gonna cast pretty good for that Booyah. I got me a Shakespeare, y'all. Shakespeare reverb. I got a little grub on it, but that's gonna come off. But I also decided to put some braid on. Start off with my swim bait or the other swim bait. Okay? So, and I might even try it with a jig. We'll see. I'm gonna put it to the test, y'all. Now that helps me with my distance. Now my next one, I mean, they say jerk baits, which I don't use a lot of, but I will use some swim baits. Now, the last time I had got swim baits, I haven't used them in a while, but I use them for pre-spawn because these bad boys, for some reason, they love it. I said I'm gonna try this one this year. I mean, it's more like trout, but I'm gonna try this one also for pre-spawn. So if you know this hookup, got my bullet weight, my eagle claw hook, and you know it, that Yum Texas rig Christi Crawfish. That's my favorite. Had to pick another one up today. Now they say spinnerbaits are good too. So I got this Booyah Blade. I said I got this today. I'm gonna try and see. You know, I might even put a raised swimmer with it as a trailer. Now, this raised swimmer, I use that for the Booyah Blade, and I also use it for my bleeding hook Promodel jig, Strike King. It got a little vibration to it. Now this, I'm also put this as an attachment. I have the Strike King Promodel. I wanted to try two different ones. This one has see the rattle's different, so this might be a little bit louder. So I'm gonna drop it at the bottom. When it opens up, I'm gonna add a Christi Crawfish to the tail of this one. I'm gonna add one to that, and then I'm gonna add a raised swimmer. So it's gonna have this as a trailer. Sometimes take off a little bit off, so it can be a little bit smaller. And then I'm gonna have this one with my Christi Crawfish. Now these are gonna help you to cover water quickly and to find those aggressive fish. That reaction bite, boom, boom. Once you identify the type of areas they are using to transition, you have a good chance of loading the boat in a hurry. So hopefully this clears up a few of these pesky words and will help you figure out the pre-spawn bass fishing puzzle this season. So y'all, you know, I'm gonna put that to the test when I get back out there. Reason why I'm inside doing my video is because it is raining. They're calling for snow. Here in North Carolina, the snow don't even barely stick, but they shut down everything. So I'm gonna have to hold off until we get some warm weather again. And as always, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And like I said, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'm almost at my 4,000 watch hours, so thank you for watching my content. As always, we got more live action coming to you.